Hey guys.
We're in a nice recreational spot on a cliff just outside of Clear River. Have a look at this. Look at that view, which is great. Stayed here last night. So in BC, it turns out that they're a little bit more friendly to overlanders and themselves because they have recreational sites.
For free.
For free.
Yeah.
And they'll have all sorts of stuff. So it could have like a wee little bench like this that they've only recently made. Biking trails, hiking trails, basically do whatever you want crowd land, but the locals really look after it. So if you're looking for somewhere that's free and not necessarily off the beaten track, but at least you get your own space, recreational sites are all over BC. We've heard they're more in the north than the south, but yeah,
they're great.
We're central at the minute.
So we had a thing this morning where a biker actually turned up, and he was so, I think this bench has just literally been built a few days ago. He was so happy that we were staying here. I think his mate had made it, so he took a photo. He's really excited, which is really refreshing, having been different places where maybe it's not as acceptable to be camping out in the wild. So yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
So
our game plan is, as Nick's told you, we're in BC. We've had to make a bit of a tough decision about the Yukon and the Northwest Territories. We've been in Canada for too long. Turns out it's quite a big country, and we spent way too much money, especially with the work that we needed to get done on Rex with the transmission, and we're kind of worried about time. We do have at least another 3 months on our ETA in Canada, which is like the visa, but that means we're going to be missing out on other countries along the route. So as much as we do like Offgrid, as much as we do really want to explore the wild north, we think we're not going to do it, and instead start making our way south, which is a bit of a shame, isn't it?
yeah, it's exciting as well. We did really want to do it, but you know, we've been here nearly 3 months, is it?
Yeah.
Not far off 3 months, and it was only ever going to be 6 weeks, and we love it so much we just haven't wanted to leave, and it's freaking massive as well. So yeah, I think it's not only that, it'd be so remote that in terms of if anything went wrong, like garages, that kind of thing, just dealing with that would be so expensive, just getting someone out that far.
Well, we have got spare parts.
Yeah, we have.
I've got at least 3 nuts over there. Yeah.
You got 3 nuts?
3 nuts. That's probably something I shouldn't be saying on YouTube. I'm a very special person.
Special.
So that means we're going to start heading south, and our next stop is, there's a national park just over that way, no point in showing you because there's trees there, which is called Wells Grey. We're going to check that out today, and then we're going to start meandering our way south towards Whistler. Now, we don't really like touristy places, but in Whistler there's an overland rally, and we might have a free invite awaiting us. So we're going to check that out.
Cool. Yeah.
See you guys. Wells Grey National Park is fantastic. It's located in the southern Cariboo Mountains, and it's nicknamed Canada's Waterfall Park due to 41 named waterfalls at the point of filming, and many more found within its borders, but they just haven't been named yet. One of the biggest ones is Helmcken Falls, if I've pronounced that correctly. It's a massive 141 metres tall and the 4th largest in Canada. The park is home to a large number of species, more than I have time to attempt to list right now, but classically, only the brown bear showed itself, peeking its head out from bushes here and there. There are scatterings of hot springs and even a rainforest. But despite all of this, we couldn't help but feel a little, well, underwhelmed. Not because Wells Grey isn't fantastic, it really is, but because we've just stumbled out of the Rockies and seen some of the best of what the Rockies has to offer, and I guess we were a little desensitised. Having said that, we did decide to do a hike through one of the rainforests, which was pretty cool, but after a few hours we got bored, and Nix decided it would be a good use of her time to try and pan for gold with her hands. Unsuccessfully, may I add.
Areas like this are not always easy to get to, but my God, they're so worth it when you get there, and you just know that you've taken the risk and you've got there, and it's so beautiful. Oh, that's a tree. That's a tree. It just feels really wild and untamed, and It's just that thing as well of not knowing what you're going to see. Maybe wolves or bears or
Ducks.
frogs.
This is a hairy little corner.
Shit.
Look at that little cliff by you.
We had to do a few campsites, so certainly in Banff and a few in Jasper, and some of them were really nice, but there is nothing better than just getting off grid. Like, there really isn't. And also just discovering somewhere. I mean, obviously people have been here before, but it's not on the map in terms of where to park, so that makes it extra special. So Joel's just doing his thing now, and he's gone to explore with his bear spray and his knife as well. Yeah, I think it's looking good for tonight, so we're gonna stay here.
Morning! Our lovely sunrise view that we're supposed to have this morning has been destroyed by this horrible, horrible weather. Look at that. So you can't even see the mountains really that we could see yesterday. Also, because quite a lot of rain is starting to hit the ground now, we're worried we're not going to be able to get off this mountain because we're on quite a hairy road. So we've quickly broken down camp and we're going to shoot now. At the minute we're probably about, yeah, the water's going about a centimetre down, which is pushing it a bit anymore, and it might be unsafe to get off this mountain, and we're probably stranded here for a few days. Let's go. I am so glad we came down to South BC. It's just beautiful here. I know we haven't got an amazing spot like we did last night, but you know, there's still a nice view, and it's just warm, and it's warm without mosquitoes. I think just because it's so dry, the mosquitoes are either hiding or hopefully dead. So it's great, you know, I've got my flip-flops out, I'm not in fear of being carried away by a flock of mosquitoes. It's brilliant. Only downside is it's really tough to get fresh water. So normally we'd like, you know, find a mountain spring or something like that. Haven't found anything that comes straight out the ground here, so I don't really trust it. Plus, when we're in towns and we're trying to, like, you know, fill up with a hose pipe that someone might have or at a garage, they're saying that the water's contaminated, it's the time of year, or there's been a leak, and basically they wouldn't drink it without boiling it. So our only real option is to, I suppose, buy some from a supermarket, but it's going to cost a shed load. I mean, we've got a 75 litre tank. We like it to be drinking water, so we don't want to contaminate it. Trying to get 75 litres of bottled water around here. Earlier on I saw a 4 litre bottle of water going for $2. $2? That's 20% of my daily food budget. Can't have that. So we're gonna head west tomorrow because we need to start getting over to where we're going, Whistler, for the rally, and hopefully we can find some more water en route because we're out. I think we've got a 3.5 litre bottle full, a trickle in another one, just a wee bit. So yeah, we need some water. It's not like life or death though, because even though we're on the side of a mountain right now, there is a town just down there. But southern BC's populated. What do you want from me? Right, the only way we can top up our drinking water tank is to actually do it via these. Now, it'd be really expensive if we kept buying these as we go, so we found a place that will let you take it back afterwards for a $10 deposit, which is Superstore. And then after, so we've rented the bottle from Superstore, but we're going to top it up in Canadian Tire because it's only $1.99 for a refill at Canadian Tire, and at Superstore it's like $3 or something. And it'll take us 3.5 of these to fill up, and then we'll return our bottle, hopefully. Just pulling into a little town called Merritt, and what's
really apparent is that all the hills actually look like where we're from in southeast England. It's just rolling hills everywhere. It's actually really beautiful and a little bit wilder than back home, but yeah, it's really nice.
I kind of feel like that we've just driven into the Wild West. It's well cool.
We're just going through an Indian reserve, and I think it's called Indian Reserve 11. There's something just really special about them, and I don't know what it is, whether it's because Canada's built on that, whether, you know, it's just really cool and we get really excited when we actually drive through them. What's your thought?
I like them just because there's practically no tax, and if there is tax, it's local tax, so it's really cheap, but most of them are untaxed, so you can pick up everything for cheaper, except for fuel. That's the only thing that they have to pay tax on. They're not like what you would expect when you hear the word Indian reservation. It isn't loads of native North American people living in them. It's very mixed. They do have loads of natural springs nearby, so if you want to get free, cheap water and you're in the middle of the sticks, have a word with someone in an Indian reservation, because they will tell you where the spring is.
And actually that spring, I think we showed you guys a few episodes ago that we went to, was probably the best water that we've had so far, I think.
Where was that? Minto?
Yeah, Minto.
Oh yeah, that was brilliant.
That was really cool.
We have just stumbled across, slightly off the main road, this really sweet, donated by the community, little picnic area. In fact, it's donated by a couple called Bev and Dave, and they've kind of built it all themselves, and it's really quirky and cool.
Yeah, it's mad that they donated it in 2013 and it's still really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still not been destroyed.
Well.
But what they've done is they set up a washing line for people like us, so we can hang out our clothes. They've got all these like really quirky seats going on. They've got a fire pit ready, and they've chopped up loads of wood for us. Nix has also found this little quirky area.
I think this is my favourite part of it. This, did you say it was a temperature gauge? Like
it's a thermometer.
Thermometer.
Yeah,
it's really cute. Little stones everywhere as well.
At first I thought that was free beer, but it turns out that's just the bin.
Bev and Dave.
Come on, you're slacking. And all the way over there, with a little smiley face on it, it only turns out to be the toilet right there.
Proper toilet as well, with a little hole in the ground and a flip top lid and everything. We've never had it so good, have we?
This is amazing. So Bev and Dave, if you're watching this, we thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, not that
really
you would
sweet.
be watching this, because I think it's just friends and family, but still, Bev and Dave, thank you. Right, the time has come. We're heading towards Whistler because we're going to be going to the British Columbia Overland Rally, which we've been invited to, which should be pretty cool. We're at the minute in the, I think, Caribou district of southern British Columbia, which is pretty much the Ranch and Riverlands district, or at least that's what the road signs say. We're going to be heading towards Whistler, the long way round, so we're going to be heading from here up to the north, and then from the north heading west-southwest towards Whistler. And what should be cool is hopefully we can find an out-the-way spot in the mountains to stay tonight, because for the next few days we're going to be at that Overland Rally, and there'll be people everywhere, which will be really cool to chat with, but it'll be nice for us to just have our own time tonight in the wilderness, and hopefully we see a grizzly bear, because we still haven't seen a grizzly bear. We'll see. Not great news, guys. We've just driven about 10k into the bush, into the mountains. It's really beautiful, but the warning lights just come on regarding Rex's automatic transmission. Just checked the oil, it's bone dry. Had a look under the vehicle and we've got a steady load of drips coming down, which isn't great news. So we're just topping it up, and also on top of that we think our radiator's leaking. So it's not going well. And
Everything else is great otherwise.
Yeah, beautiful place. We're going to head downhill again to play it safe, find somewhere flat, camp up, and then get this looked at if we need to in Whistler tomorrow. Right, so we've come down from the upper valley of the mountains, which is between those two over there. We're right in that gap. We've come down to this lower valley and we've decided to chance it and just stay here. We have some more oil if it leaks overnight to get us to the main road, but even if Rex just completely gives in, the gravel road from here to the main road is quite wide, which means if someone needs to come and give us a tow out, it's going to be more than possible for a tow truck. And also, I'm tired of getting deep into the wilderness and then something on Rex breaks, and I just actually want to enjoy the wilderness for once, even if I am stranded here for the rest of my life. Do you think they have Wi-Fi? We are just outside of Garibaldi National Park, and that's the big one. That's the one where Whistler is, and it's really known for its skiing and snowboarding in the winter. But because we're outside a national park, everything here is like hunter's territory. No matter where you go, you are just going to find like spent shell casings everywhere. Now, in like maybe a 4 meter square area, I've collected some of the shell casings. And it's mad. I mean, we've got 2.2s, oh god, I actually think that's a 7.62. I mean, you've got all manner of bores, all manner of ammunition, and this place is just, look, it's covered in it. Now I can't imagine like a whole like bison pack, is it bison pack? Herd? Bison herd came through here, and it just so happened an army of hunters were all lined up just opening fire. I literally think it's hillbillies come here for the night, set up some targets, because we have seen some stuff that's been shot the crap out of, and just open fire on it all night long. And to be fair, that does sound like a little bit like fun. Except we found another camp that we were going to go to down in a different spot where it was actually quite a nice creek and a campfire all set up, and right next to the campfire was a cooked, what we think, bear hand, which I think is going a little bit too far. I mean, do people even eat bears? I mean, are they tasty? I don't really know. I just think they're really cool and shouldn't be killed. But look, we're in Canada, and as far as I care, as long as if people are killing for food and that's it, and not just like killing an animal for its fur or whatever, you know, that's the way the world works, and in some ways it's part of the food chain, as long as if they are eating what they kill. Just a bit weird about the bear hand, man. I mean, what happened to the rest of the bear? What, they ate that and left the hand? We were going to video it for you, but it looked really skanky. It had kind of like crackling on it and shit. That's what puts a bummer on the experience, is, you know, fair enough, we can deal with bones, because that's fine, you know, hunters, got some animals, skinned it, got the meat off and then left the bones, but a semi-cooked bear hand, is that even a thing? Are we going to go to Whistler and like, I don't know, they got hats with bear hands on top and it's like a Whistler delicacy or something. So we're in grizzly region now, so that means we're going to have to be careful again with what we do with our camp. you have to be careful anyway with food and stuff like that, but we're going to take some extra precautions when we sleep in the rooftop tent tonight. We've taken up the flare gun, all the mace and everything, just in case a nice grizzly bear who, standing on his hind legs, will be bigger than our rooftop tent, decides to have a little mose. Odds are really slim, plus we're going to have a clean camp, plus we'll have the fire probably at embers by the time we go to bed. It's going to be fine. Today's the day, people. Overland, BC Overland Rally 2019.
Our first one as well.
Our first one, which is quite cool because everyone here is going to know more than we do about overlanding, which is great because we need to learn.
Yeah.
And even though we've been on the road for 2 months now, we still don't know what we're doing. What's kind of cool is this is kind of like rally season, and either last week or the week before there was the Northwest Rally. And we're looking at some of the photos, and there's loads of Mitsubishi Delicas there, L400s, L300s. So it'll be really cool for us to ask a few questions about the Deli, especially our transmission, which doesn't seem to be in great shape. And maybe in Vancouver we can find a recommended mechanic to take a look at it, which is cool.
Yeah.
And the best thing that Nick's just pointed out a second ago is there is not an RV in sight.
No, there isn't, but we have just seen a Sprinter. But if you can see a Sprinter, at least it's got tinted windows and it's black and it's not white.
I still threw up in my mouth a little bit. Oh look, he's driving away. Yes, yeah, he knows better. Look, there he goes. There he goes. Yeah. Ta-da, Doc. Ta-da.
Poor guy.
You're not invited. I'm sorry. It's only people that are cool. Yeah. Knowing our luck, we'll get to the gate and the Delica will just break. Yeah. Sorry, are you leaking oil? The Overland show was amazing. Everything Nix and I needed from this event. It had overlanders, it had traders, and it had some fantastic rigs. Even that classic L300 Delica you can see there. We bought ourselves a side awning which we desperately needed, and this legend, Kelly, helped us fit it because he had a drill and frankly we didn't. It was going to take me forever to get that on. Kelly, thank you mate, you're a legend. The show also does some really cool talks and workshops. One talk was based on Central and South America by these experienced overlanders. Hopefully we'll bump into them because we know they're heading that way. Their rig is also pretty sick. Speaking of rigs, I hate to say it, but this 4x4 Sprinter does look pretty mint. Also, the original Grizzly Talk was there. And for those of you that don't actually know what this is, in the 1950s, 2 Canadians drove round the world for 14 months in this vehicle. Everywhere they went, they did another mural on the side. Finally, we just want to thank Sue and Mike. You guys are brilliant. Thank you for showing us the ropes of the show, and thank you for cooking us dinner. We really appreciate it, and we hope we see you guys again.
We are just finishing up from our first ever rally, and what a weekend it's been. I've had so much fun, like we both have. It's just been amazing. We've met some really cool people, we've learned some stuff, we see some amazing rigs, and it's just been a lot of fun. And we were, you know, we've never been to one of these before. I didn't really know what to expect. You know, a lot of these guys are like seasoned overlanders, and we're obviously quite rookie and new to it, but yeah, everyone's just like opened their arms and welcomed us in, and it's just been amazing. I think my liver's quite thankful because it's day 3. Well, it would have been day 3 yesterday of drinking, and I think, yeah, I just need a bit of a detox. So my liver's quite happy, but otherwise I'm quite sad to leave today.
I kind of feel like we've just driven into the Wild West. It's well cool. Nick's chatting away back at me. She thinks I'm talking to her.